8800. One more time, go to totalwealth.com or call 501-382-8800. That's 501-382-8800. 501-382-8800. Go to totalwealth.com.
Investment advisory services offered through Lucas Total Wealth, an Arkansas registered investment advisor. Arkansas Insurance License Number 161-52743.
Need a good shot of your favorite pastor? Well, you can get him anywhere and everywhere at oneplace.com and the One Place app. If you missed the daily dose of encouragement you need, find it there. If you want to hear that great sermon one more time, it's all there. We don't encourage you to leave this station, not ever. But when you want to repeat, you know where to go. OnePlace.com and the One Place app. No matter what happens, we're always on.
Town Hall News, where conservative voices cut through the noise from breaking headlines to fearless opinion. We report what matters without apology. Written by people who actually believe what you believe. Town Hall tells the stories the corporate press buries, from President Trump to Capitol Hill, from pivotal elections to your everyday lives. Join the movement at townhall.com. Real stories, real reporters, real conservative media.
Join Vicki Parker for Sit on That Stump in Muddy Bottom. It's hour-long conversations with those who've been able to find diamonds in the midst of life's pits. It's every Thursday night at 6 and Saturdays at online, noon, on your phone, and on air. This is Faith Talk 99.5, KDIS, Little Rock. He's just a regular guy with a cool job that God loves for some reason. Welcome to the Steve Marston Show, a daily journey in learning how to live more like Jesus, conversations with those that God is working through, and dad jokes. It's the most unique show you'll hear today. Now, here's Steve.
Well, I know it's a fun Friday, but I'm not kidding around. I'm playing hurt today. I have done something to my back. I have a cool story about that, though. I was actually at the gym working out. That makes me sound strong and sound like tough and manly. But I did. I tweaked my back lifting some weights. Nothing big deal. I'm still here. But the thing that's killing me is my leg. I bumped it against the corner of my desk, and I'm in agony. It's killing me right at this second as I'm talking to you. But I'm playing hurt. It's a fun Friday, and we're here. We're glad that you are. Wherever you're listening, of course, we're on two great radio stations, AM 630, The Word in San Antonio, deep in the heart of Texas, as well as Faith Talk 99.5 in Little Rock. And we're streaming on 7 kajillion different pages on the interwebs on about 10 or 12 or 14 million platforms. I don't know. Producer Tommy takes care of all of that. But we are everywhere, and we would love for you to join us because today is a fun Friday. We've got some fun videos we found from some Christian content makers, especially our new buddy, Nick Peterson. He joined us earlier this week, and he released a new video just this morning, and we're going to kind of debut it for you here in just a little bit. We've got our review of the Babylon Bee. Speaking of reviews, our buddy Adam Holtz from FocusOnTheFamilies.PluggedIn.com is going to join us. We're going to talk about some new movies that are out and so much more. Of course, we want you to be involved as well. 888-901-5454 is the phone number if you want to call in and be a part of the show. 888-901-5454. And keep that number handy because coming up here in just a little bit, we're going to give you a chance to win with our partnership with Alan Jackson. He is giving us a couple of different resources that you can call in to win, whether you're in San Antonio or in Little Rock or anywhere in between. We'd love to be able to give you these prizes, and we'll do that coming up here in just a bit. So keep that phone number handy, as I say. Oh, and one little other thing I need to billboard right here at the top of the program is it's another day where we're going to kind of separate for the markets. We've got Adam Holtz here in Little Rock, and then for those of you in San Antonio, we're going to do another 15-minute challenge for preborn. We did this the other day, and it went over like gangbusters. So we're going to do it again and ask you to help us raise some money, and we'll talk more about that as we get closer to time. Okay, so let's get started today. And this came as kind of a pleasant surprise to me. A guy named Sharik Khan is his name, and he is someone on X. Now, I don't follow Sharik Khan. I mean, I may start because of this X post. I don't know anything really about him. I don't know if he, uses his right and left turn indicator. I don't know if he has good manners or not. I don't know if he has a contemporary liberal hairdo.
You got a contemporary liberal hairdo. What in the world is wrong with you?
I don't know anything about it, but I do know this X post is really good. And it starts off so strong. He says, the story in the Bible that rattled me before I converted to Christianity from Islam is the way he starts this. And he starts talking about the two thieves that were crucified right alongside Christ. He said, the two thieves crucified next to Jesus, I never knew about them. He says they're the whole gospel in one scene. He's really right about that. He says, two men, the same sin, same cross, same dying breath, same distance from Jesus, just mere feet away on either side. One mocks him, and one turns to him and says, Jesus, remember me when you come into your kingdom. Now, just to kind of clarify and put the story all together, they both were mocking him. They both said that. And then at some point, after seeing everything that has been happening, that one thief says that famous line, remember me when you come into your kingdom. Back to the post. He says, Jesus tells the second man, today you will be with me in paradise. That's a quote from Luke chapter 23, verse 43. And he said, that man did zero good works. He couldn't. His hands were nailed down. He never prayed 5 times, never fasted, never gave to the poor, never got baptized. He had nothing to offer but a dying glance toward Jesus, and Jesus saved him on the spot. Hallelujah. That's Steve ad. He said, in Islam, that man was doomed. No time to balance the scale, no deeds to weigh, game over. A horrible life with a horrible punishment ahead. He says, I wonder if that would have been me. He said, yet the gospel, that man, let me back up. Yet in the gospel, that man was in paradise the same day, because salvation was never about his works. It was about who he turned to in his last moment. And then he wraps it up by saying, two criminals, same cross, one simple difference. One chose to turn to Jesus. That's why the gospel is offensive. And Jesus asked everyone, who do you say that I am? Isn't that great? A guy, again, his name is Sharik Khan. He's on X. And somehow that came across my timeline today. And I just thought how beautiful and how simplistic that really is. Because really, that sums it up so much. This story he just retold for us absolutely is the gospel. In fact, when we start trying to put anything else beside it or along with it, really kind of waters it down. I mean, it's the great thing, the viral video that our buddy Alistair Begg did, about the thief on the middle, or the man in the middle cross told me I could come. Alistair said in that little video that if we start our salvation story with anything other than he or Jesus or him, instead of I or me, that's the key. Because it really is nothing that we've done, nothing that we deserve, nothing that we could ever point to say, hey, yeah, I deserve this. In fact, you could look at it this way. Maybe this helps bring it a little more into focus. The best thing that you could do on your best day as a human being still doesn't qualify you for heaven. Still doesn't qualify you for a relationship with God. That seems like bad news. It really does. It seems like there's no hope. Well, the gospel is that Jesus came knowing that we couldn't help ourselves, knowing that we would rebel, and knowing that our whole existence would be focused on ourselves and not giving a rip about what he said or thought. And yet, even with that attitude that we all have, he still chose to come and provide a way for us. Now, look, just like this man, he didn't twist his arm. Just like the thief on the cross, he cried out for mercy. He cried out with a repentant heart. He didn't force the other one to. It's just an act of the will. Seeing what Christ has done, allowing the Spirit to draw you to realize, oh, yeah, you know what? Just like this man who was guilty, who could do no good works, who could say no good things, he was granted entrance into paradise because of what Jesus did. And all he had to do was accept the free gift. And I know there's a lot of you that have already done that, but I know that there's a good part of this audience that's listening in that never has. Your opportunity is right, waiting right there for you. It's always available when the Spirit draws you. Anytime you get ready. More after this.
What if your faith could grow wherever you go? With the Faith Talk 99.5 app, it can. Listen live, anytime, anywhere. Hear the best local and national Bible teachers opening God's Word with clarity, conviction, and truth. Engage with thought-provoking talk shows that challenge your perspective and strengthen your walk. And don't miss The Steve Marston Show, a daily live conversation about learning to live more like Jesus. Real faith, real life. Honest questions. Encouragement you can actually use. At home, at work, in the car, on your walk. The teaching you trust. The conversations that matter. All in one place. Right in your pocket. Download the Faith Talk 99.5 app today in your app store. Encouragement, inspiration, truth. Faith Talk 99.5.
Maybe this is you too. There's enormous frustration right now with healthcare costs. It is amazing. Healthcare costs for families in the last 20 years have almost tripled, and it just keeps getting worse. All this to say, this is why MediShare is so in demand right now. People are looking for alternatives, and MediShare is proven you can save thousands of dollars a year and actually like it more. Over 1 million Americans are now part of healthcare sharing, and MediShare is the gold standard. It's trusted. It works. It's been helping people save money and have peace of mind now for 30 plus years. It's not some big impersonal thing either. It's a community of people like you helping each other. So yeah, if you're frustrated too, here's your chance to make a refreshing change. You'll notice the difference as soon as you call. They're easy to talk to. You can get a price within 2 minutes. Here is the number. Call 844-41-BIBLE. That's 844-41-BIBLE. 844-41-BIBLE.
We had a great vacation, but then we came back home, and after a few days, we found bed bugs or hitchhikers. We're pretty sure they joined us during our travels. That's not the souvenir we wanted, but thanks to the Bug Man, we're better now. We just wish we'd called them sooner because, unfortunately, they had spread from room to room.
Call the Bug Man at 663-9464 or go to bugman.com and check out their coupons. No contracts required. The Bug Man has been serving our community for 45 years. Call 663-9464.
Friday on Truth for Life, Alistair Begg explains why God's sovereignty doesn't absolve us of our responsibility.
The fact that God overrules the evil that bad men and women do as he brings his purposes to pass does not make their actions any less evil.
Listen Friday to Truth for Life.
It's unlike any Christian talk show you've ever heard. Welcome back to the Steve Marston Show.
And we try to live up to that every single day. Unlike any other Christian talk show you're going to come across, we are glad that you're listening and watching wherever you are in the beautiful creation of our Savior. So here's what we got right here. This is from Alan Jackson Ministries. Remember that phone number I told you to hang on to? Well, you're going to need to use it right now. 888-901-5454. 888-901-5454. Call right now, and we've got these resources for you to take home. The first one is from Alan Jackson. It's a little booklet. It's called In Christ, The Confidence to Speak Your Identity. It's for just really short little booklet there that you can take home from Alan Jackson Ministries. On the back, it's got that famous quote from 1 Peter chapter 3 about being ready to make a defense for your faith and sharing the hope that you have. This is awesome. I may even, well, steal is a bad word. You don't want to use steal, but I may even find my way of getting one of these. This is called the Good News Notebook. And look at the way this is designed, okay? So here you go. You've got a scripture for the week right up here. Then you've got good news of the world. So you can kind of journal what's happening not only in the world, but good news in my life on the next page. Then you flip the page over, as the radio host tries to do so quickly. And you do right there. And then look, you've got this week's, right here, this week's prayers answered, thanks be giving, and then some notes, maybe if you're taking for sermon. This is awesome. It's for 52 weeks. So you could provide a whole year in this good news notebook. So you want this package from Alan Jackson Ministries? Call now. 888-901-5454. We're looking for a winner right now. And it could be in San Antonio, could be in Little Rock, somewhere else. Call us and you can take this home. It's our, what do you call it? Our ministry of the month. That's the word I'm trying to think of here for the month of June. Okay, so let's get to this. This is the Babylon Bee. The Babylon Bee in review is what we do every week. Just to kind of rehash some of the things that they cover. And this week had a fantastic article. It was called, Was Jesus the Long-Awaited Messiah? Here's 9 subtle clues. Producer Tommy, we ready with some music? Here we go. Okay, so 9 subtle clues that Jesus was the Messiah. Number 1, he was born of a virgin. This is a key hint that narrows Jesus down to being either the Messiah or the Jedi's chosen one. Number 2, John the Baptist was all like, behold the Lamb of God who takes away the sins of the world. Very suspicious. Number 3, he once told a woman to pipe down, and she did. You have any idea how impossible that is? Number 4, a loud voice from heaven said, this is my son. We're starting to put all those puzzle pieces together. Number 5, he once walked on water. Hey, even a Jedi can't do that. He arose again from the dead. There's a telltale sign. Number 7, he literally read about himself from the book of Isaiah and said it was him. Subtle. Number 8, the woman at the well said she knew the Messiah was coming, and Jesus responded by saying, it's me. This may be busting the whole thing wide open. And then number 9, did we mention that he rose from the dead? I mean, come on. It's a Babylon Bee in review here on the Steve Marston Show. Such good stuff. I wish I had come up with the bee. I talked about that in the past because I'm a smart aleck by nature, and I have spent my entire adult life in the Christian bubble, and they love to poke at it, and they love to poke at, just anything that takes themselves too seriously. So I figure if I can't, be smart enough to create something like that, that I would at least share it with you. We'll do the Babylon Bee in review again next week. Okay, earlier this week, we had on a Christian comedian named Nick Peterson, and he is the best. Nick does these videos, and a lot of them have gone viral, and he does them all by himself. I mean, he has 0 team members. When I say he did everything from write to direct to shoot, edit, whole thing. And he's got a new video that's out that just dropped today. And it's really good. Now, this one's not so much a Christian flavor, but it is a more political observational deal. Here's our buddy Nick with his sketch called The White House Housekeeper. It's on Fun Friday. on the Steve Marston Show. Let's watch.
Mr. President, I put new batteries in your Diet Coke button, and I hung the updated photo of Joe Biden. My name's Nick Peterson, and I'm the White House housekeeper. I start the week off by making a run for enough aspartame to kill an African bush elephant. And then it's off to gather more trans fats than a Reddit thread. I did get him a better self-tanner that won't turn him orange. So the left's gonna have to come up with a better slogan. They can't shout brown man bad. I have been the housekeeper here through 3 presidents. Truth be told, Obama was pretty easy, aside from some cigarette runs in his first term and the occasional cover-up. It's only 3 feet of water. You think they'll believe it? I did not get paid enough for
my
Biden's
goodness,
4
3
years.
feet of water.
Is that poop? It was always Nick, Hunter stopped by, clean up all the spoons. Nick, Easter's over, take down all the trans flags. Nick, run this box of documents over to my house in Delaware. So, I was looking forward to things returning to normal. Mr. President, Jake Paul called. And what time do the UFC fighters get here? Why are you on the roof? What's the best part of my job? Probably the opportunity to be around the most powerful leaders in the world while they're hard at work. Oh, don't post that. The worst part of my job's gotta be sweeping 55,000 square feet and also sweeping the bushes for armed liberals. Or when all these world health leaders visit the White House. Check the mail, you got a fundraising letter from the Kennedy Center. Boy, they got bigger stones than Easter Island. A complaint from the EPA. I used a paper straw today, so damage offset. Looks like you're moving. 10% off movers. Oh, that's for Pam Bondi. With 132 rooms and 35 bathrooms, keeping the White House clean is like trying to lower the national debt with a lemonade stand. But fortunately for me, it ain't getting any bigger. I love my job though, because I feel like it's important. I feel like I make a difference.
Nick, I need a Diet Coke.
I'd like to tell you about a man named Phineas, who, a child, survived the Holocaust. Phineas survived because Christians hid him from the Nazis, risking everything to save his life. Today, Phineas is in his 80s. He can no longer stand on his own or even leave his home to receive medical care. And when sirens sound and missiles fall, he doesn't have the time or the strength to reach safety. But once again, Christians are helping to save his life. Through the International Fellowship of Christians and Jews, a mobile clinic brings doctors and medicine right to Phineas's doorstep, providing care that he otherwise would not receive, especially during a time of war. Phineas said, "Christians saved my life during the Holocaust, and now again, they are helping me." As Israel's Holocaust Remembrance Day approaches, remember these precious children of God by lifting them up in prayer, asking for his protection, his comfort, and his peace. Stand with Israel in prayer by visiting supportifcj.org. That's supportifcj.org.
Whether retirement's just around the corner or already here, it's common to be overwhelmed. That's where Total Wealth with David Lucas can help. Utilizing their signature Thrive planning process, they'll work together with you to identify and resolve your concerns, allowing you to fully pursue your passions and enjoy life. Because a successful retirement isn't just how much you save, it's the quality of life you live. Schedule a free evaluation now at TotalWealth.com. While you're at the website, download the free guide to Social Security. It'll help answer a lot of your questions. Go to TotalWealth.com or call 501-382-8800. 501-382-8800. One more time, go to TotalWealth.com or call 501-382-8800. That's 501-382-8800. 501-382-8800. Go to TotalWealth.com.
Investment advisory services offered through Lucas Total Wealth, an Arkansas registered investment advisor. Arkansas Insurance License Number 161527743.
If you'd like a smartphone that's really smart, download the OnePlace.com app, the app that will inspire your faith daily and provide answers to the biggest questions of all. OnePlace lets you download your favorite pastor's programs and listen, even offline or in airplane mode, with easy connections to your Bluetooth speaker or dashboard. To download your free One Place app, visit the iTunes App Store or the Google Play Store for your Android device and search for One Place. That's One Place.
You're stuck on the side of the highway. What do you do? Well, I'll tell you, the first thing you should do to get off the side of the highway is to call East End Towing. I mean, they're part of the Arkansas Tow and Recovery Board. They're licensed. They're insured. I use them all the time. Whenever I need some help, I give them a call. Here's the number I use, 501-888-8849. That's 501-888-8849. Anything, anytime, anywhere. East End Towing.
You found the place where faith and fun are both taken seriously. Welcome back to the Steve Marston Show.
It's a fun Friday, and I'm glad that you are being a part of the day's festivities, whether you're watching on video live stream or you're listening on one of our two great radio stations. We welcome you in. And on Fridays at this time, we like to welcome our buddy Adam Holtz. He is from Focus on the Family's pluggedin.com. It's a everything entertainment review site. You can find literally reviews about everything from movies to streaming shows to books to gaming to what am I leaving out? I mean, everything you can imagine.
YouTube channels.
There you go. YouTube channel. Exactly. And it's a pleasure to have you back. Hey, bud.
It's good to see you. Yes, I am. I'm checking
look
in
at
today
that
from
shirt.
our California office.
Are you just channeling
my dining room? Actually.
Oh, okay. Dining room. But look at the shirt. You're like channeling. You want to be out in Magnum PI land or something?
Yeah, that's right. If somebody would just give me a Ferrari to use, I would be living an even better life than I'm already living. So
I love it.
My daughters got me this shirt, and I thought, I don't know, it's pretty loud. And they're like, well, you're loud. I'm like, you got a point, and I've been wearing it ever since. So
hey, I'm telling you, look, you got to have the confidence to pull it off, and you do.
That's right.
It's awesome.
Okay, funny story. This we haven't even started yet. This is a fun tangent, though. You'll like it.
Okay.
So a couple years ago, I had a chance to interview Jonathan Rumi when he was in Jesus Revolution. So he played Lonnie Frisbee, and I was, they do these things. If you ever participate in them, it's not as much fun as it sounds like. They're in a motel room, and they trot you in for like 4 minutes, and then you're out. Right? I mean, it's very, very, very organized at high speed. But Jonathan, this is the point, in case you're wondering where the point went. Dude was rocking a purple velvet sport coat, and I'm like, whoa, dang, that is next level. I'm like, I suppose if you play Jesus, you too could rock a purple velvet sport coat. But I was trying to imagine myself in it, and I just bust out laughing.
Yeah.
I'm like, what are you Huggy Bear from, the 70s? Some people will remember that reference.
Right. Well, I know I got the reference.
Anyway,
no, that's so cool. That's so cool. I guess when you play Jesus, you feel like you can dress however you want.
You can wear a purple crushed velvet sport coat. And he looked great. You didn't even give it a second thought, right?
I bet he did. All right, let's get to the business at hand, because Tommy and I were talking here just off air before you came on. He said, are you guys going to talk about Disclosure Day? I said, yeah, that's the main thing we're going to talk about.
There.
Yeah.
We'll see if there's any time left afterwards, right?
Yeah, because it's one of the blockbusters that everybody's looking forward to.
Yep.
So what'd you think?
I think a lot of things. So I think it's a Steven Spielberg movie. It's pretty well constructed. It is his fifth alien meet human movie that he's ever done, which is a little bit of a fudge. I mean, he's really got three. He's got Close Encounters of the Third Kind. He's got E.T., and then the other two are, the last Raiders of the Lost Ark movie. Well, 2 ago, I guess, Kingdom of the Crystal Skull or something like that. I mean, it was so bad I can't even remember the title of it. And then he did the War of the Worlds remake with Tom Cruise.
Didn't he have a hand?
Phenomenal.
Didn't he have a hand in Cocoon with Ron Howard? Or
no, I mean, he's been like alien movie adjacent on a whole bunch of things, right? He had that. I think he was a producer on the first Men in Black movie.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I haven't looked it up, but I think that's right.
So if it's basically an alien encounter type film,
yes,
He's got his
Yes.
fingerprints on it somewhere.
He's got his
somewhere.
fingerprints on it. So this is imagining what would happen if it came to light for real, like officially, that aliens have had human contact. And so we find out that there is a pseudo shadowy government organization that I can't remember the name of. Wardex is the name of it, that has been sort of managing this. It's a little bit Men in Black, a little bit X-Files, a little bit, the smoking man, if you know who he is from the X-Files. So, they're trying to keep lid on it. There's a guy who used to work there named Danny, and he's basically a whistleblower, and he teams up with a Kansas City weather anchor woman named Margaret Fairchild, played by Emily Blunt. And she is sort of she's developed an odd telepathic relationship with the aliens who are kind of speaking through her about the fact that, yeah, we're really here. And they basically go on the run, and the agents from Wardex try to catch them and shut them down, right? Which is what happens in X-Files. It happened in E.T. It happened in Close Encounters. You have aliens, you have true believers, and you always have the government trying to say nothing to see here, right?
Exactly.
That seems to be the overarching template, and we have it again here. For what it is, like taking at surface value, it's fine. It's not as good as ET or Close Encounters, but the problem is when you hit out of the park home runs like that early in your career, you have nowhere to go but down, right?
Exactly.
The interesting thing is, from our perspective as believers, excuse me, it begs the question, if aliens really showed up, how would people of faith respond to that? And there are a couple of nuns that respond different ways. And this is a question that Steven Spielberg has been talking about, saying, if we really knew there were aliens, it could be a crisis for people of faith. Does it have to be?
Yeah, we talked about that quote a little bit earlier this week.
Yeah. And so I'm going to cough again. The interesting thing has been watching Christians give different answers to that question. And I think there are different perspectives. There are some who feel like God's creation is big enough. If he wants to create another life form in another planet, knock yourself out.
Who's going to stop it?
Right? There are others who are asking, I think, slightly more biblically rooted, I'm tipping my hand a little bit, questions like, okay, was the fall a local event, or did it affect all of creation? And is all of creation all of the cosmos, or is it just Earth? But if it's just Earth, doesn't that make God like the gods in the Old Testament that were territorial, right?
I have had these very same questions.
And if we're created in God's image, what is it about us that constitutes being created in God's image? Well, I think it has to do with our moral capability, our intelligence, our relationships with each other. But if you have other creatures that are different, that have intelligence, that have, moral agency, well, what about that? Could there be aliens in God's image? Do they not go to heaven? Do they have their own Jesus? I mean, it gets pretty weird pretty fast as far as I'm concerned. Right? And did really Jesus die for the aliens? If God created aliens, are they on a different program? If so, does that minimize what Jesus did on our behalf? I don't know, man. And then there's the response, and I probably lean this way, of just saying it's all demonic activity, and it's, intended to deceive us. And there are those in that realm. It becomes a question, though, of how do you reconcile your faith with what's happening? And with everything we've seen in the news, it seems like there's a lot of stuff out there that real people with real credibility are experiencing that is unexplainable. And so what is that? I throw those questions back to you, my friend, to respond however you would like.
Well, no, I tend to agree more with what you do. That a lot of it could be, angel or demons kind of parading around in light, and angels to try to make people have warm and fuzzies and things like that. I do believe in a spirit realm. I think it's totally biblical. But yeah, I've had the same kind of questions about, if there really are aliens on some distant planet at the, other side of the galaxy, what does that mean for us? I don't know. I mean, I think this Jesus would just tell us, look, let's just focus on what I've told you the most important parts. Let's just focus on those. Those other things, I'll answer those questions for you maybe later. But like right now, let's just keep the main thing the main thing.
And I think where it becomes important is, especially if you have impressionable younger viewers whose faith could be undermined. Like,
True.
I am very capable as a 55-year-old man of treating it as a thought experiment where it's, well, maybe it's this, maybe it's this. It doesn't undermine my faith. But Spielberg said it could undermine some people's faith. And I think it's probably most likely to undermine those who are maybe young or impressionable, or those who have doubts to begin with. And so I think a movie like this could be a constructive opportunity to talk about interesting things. It might also be one if you have a teenager or a younger person who is struggling with their faith, to say, maybe we don't need to go there for that reason right now. And I think you got to know your kids, and you got to know how they're wired and what kind of conversations they want to have. And then you've got to be intentional about talking about it.
Absolutely. I think you make some excellent points. It's Adam Holtz. He is from Focus on the Family's Plugged In, and we're talking about the new Steven Spielberg movie called Disclosure Day here on the Steve Marston Show. And let me tell you the thing that I find the most fascinating that I could not really wrap my mind around when talking about this whole movie and everything that's gone around with it. Steven Spielberg is 79 years old.
Right.
Can you believe that?
He looks more like an alien every day.
He does. And I'm like, he shouldn't be. He's perpetually like he is portrayed in the Animaniacs. You know what I mean?
Totally.
The 30-year-old with the beard and the red ball cap. You know what I'm saying? That's Steven Spielberg, not a 79-year-old man.
Not a 79-year-old man. Hey, can I say one more thing? I know we're kind of beating this to death, but there's not a lot else that's absolutely worth touching on. So I don't normally point people to non-plugged in kind of things, but Brett McCracken over at the Gospel Coalition wrote a really interesting article saying, well, Steven Spielberg is Jewish. His faith is meaningful to him. And he said, this is really an alien retelling of the Exodus story, and that the two main characters are Moses and Aaron. And the movie is a journey toward the Red Sea as they follow God and are obedient. And God, in this case, is the alien signal. It was a really interesting take. And unless you're really familiar with that story and familiar with Steven Spielberg's background, it's not one that you might necessarily come up with on your own, but it made me stop and say, that is an interesting perspective. So again, there's a lot of different thoughts on this thing out there, but we've given you some more if you're watching or listening today to think about.
And the main thing, go to pluggedin.com.
Yes,
look at
after you go to that other place.
Yeah, look at the entire review, because look, I'm clicking on it right here, and what pulls up is it talks about the cast, it talks about the review itself, the positive elements, the spiritual elements, the sexual and romantic content, the violent content, crude or profane language, drug and alcohol content, other noteworthy, and then the conclusion. So you have got this long movie review of from soup to nuts over this movie, but you do that for all the things that we talk about, from streaming to books and video games, the whole thing. So, I mean, Plugged In is definitely worth bookmarking and checking out. While we got just a couple of minutes left, the one thing that kind of caught my attention was because I have some friends who really loved the movie. Was Michael is heading to they don't call it pay-per-view, whatever the cool.
We just say it's on video. I mean,
it's on video. You have to pay for it right now on Prime and on Apple TV Plus, but it's out for if someone didn't get a chance to see it, you can see it at a discounted price.
It is, and I thought it was a wonderful feel-good meditation on Michael Jackson on the 1980s. We get his origin story, if you will, which is that he had this horrible, domineering, visionary, controlling father who pushed all his sons into this band, and they pulled it off. right? But, right up to the end of the movie, Dad's still trying to pull Michael's chain. And that really is the core tension in the film. I thought one of the things it did that was interesting, you sort of get the sense that Michael never had a chance to grow and develop as a normal human being. And so he retreats into his animals, his toys. He's got a chimpanzee, he's got a llama, he watches cartoons with his mom. The giraffes, that's right. And it made him, for me at least, a little bit less weird and a little bit more sympathetic, because you could just say it. This is the eccentricities of somebody who's rich and has nothing else to do with their time and money, but it's not that.
No, it's not. And my friends that saw it just fell in love with it, thought it was brilliantly made. And the way it ends is on basically a cliffhanger, so that they're going to come back with part two, at least, maybe even a third, who knows. But it reminds me, though, you talk about Michael retreating into the animal kind of world and everything. It reminds me of Steve Harvey's old bits from when he did stand-up comedy. He said, Michael Jackson got giraffe money. He said, you wouldn't even know where to get giraffes. You don't know who to call to get a giraffe. Michael Jackson,
giraffe money.
He's got giraffe money. I love that.
Awesome. I love that. I love that. Well, we've got a review up of that. And, there's a little bit of language and a few other things. I think content-wise, it's pretty tame. I think that the implications of his dad's abuse are probably the hardest thing in the movie. But for those of us who grew up in the 80s, it's like, oh, yeah. The best has come and gone. It's in the rearview mirror,
Yeah, really, absolutely. Adam Holtz is here from pluggedin.com. So we've talked about it almost ad nauseum, but give everybody a little bit of an update of how they can connect with Plugged In and how they can stay sharp on everything that's coming out.
Yeah, you bet. It's just pluggedin.com. We're a ministry of Focus on the Family. We publish about 20 to 30 reviews every week. We have written reviews. If you come to check us out, you'll also see links to some of our video content on YouTube, and our blog unpacks different things. So we've got a blog up this week on 5 great family films that you can watch as a family this summer, and each person on the team contributed, one of their favorites. So we want to equip you and encourage you and help you deal with media and entertainment.
It's just the best. You need to bookmark it and check it off and pluggedin.com. All right, we'll talk to you again next week, Adam. Thanks. You're the best.
Sounds great. Thanks, Steve.
You're stuck on the side of the highway. What do you do? Well, I'll tell you, the first thing you should do to get off the side of the highway is to call East End Towing. I mean, they're part of the Arkansas Tow and Recovery Board. They're licensed. They're insured. I use them all the time. Whenever I need some help, I give them a call. Here's the number I use, 501-888-8849. That's 501-888-8849. Anything, anytime, anywhere. East End Towing.
The price of gold is surging to new highs. It's already topped $5,000 an ounce. The only question is, how much money will you make when gold hits $6,000 an ounce? Investors like you have made small fortunes off the run-up in precious metals, and not just with gold stocks or ETFs. Many have taken advantage of a little-known gold investment officially released by the U.S. government. Now you can too, when you get our free special report from veteran trader and investor Jim Woods. It's called Gold Wealth Boosters. This new report outlines amazing gold investments that have returned 12 to 26 times more than investing in gold bullion itself. Given the uncertainty in world markets, the investments outlined in Jim Woods' Gold Wealth Boosters report are crucial in 2026, and it's free. To get your free Gold Wealth Boosters report, log on to EagleGoldReport.com. EagleGoldReport.com. That's EagleGoldReport.com.
Whether retirement's just around the corner or already here, it's common to be overwhelmed. That's where Total Wealth with David Lucas can help. Utilizing their signature Thrive planning process, they'll work together with you to identify and resolve your concerns, allowing you to fully pursue your passions and enjoy life. Because a successful retirement isn't just how much you save, it's the quality of life you live. Schedule a free evaluation now at TotalWealth.com. While you're at the website, download the free guide to Social Security. It'll help answer a lot of your questions. Go to TotalWealth.com or call 501-382-8800. 501-382-8800. One more time, go to totalwealth.com or call 501-382-8800. That's 501-382-8800. 501-382-8800. Go to totalwealth.com.
Investment advisory services offered through Lucas Total Wealth, an Arkansas registered investment advisor. Arkansas insurance license number 1615273.
Oh, yeah, I'm much better now. Most of the physical effects are gone. They said it was a bad case of the heebie-jeebies. I felt like a prisoner in my own home. But thanks to the Bug Man, no more heebie-jeebies. I can even put stuff on the countertops again. I just wish I'd called sooner.
Call the Bugman for your own happy home at 663-9464 or go to bugman.com. The Bugman has been in business since 1976. Your satisfaction is their only contract.
Here at the Steve Marston Show, we are serious about faith, but we love a good dad joke, too.
I got an email talking about how to read maps backwards.
Okay, pause it right there. Okay, so on Fridays, we take the dad joke of the day, and I try to guess the punchline. So can you re-rack it, and let me hear the open again, the premise?
I got an email talking about how to read maps backwards.
An email, how to read maps backwards. Spam! Is it spam?
It was spam.
I got it! Look at me go! Give the gold star to the host. I'm proud of myself. I came up with that. That's the first time I heard it. Producer Tommy even said, do you want me to give you the premise so that you can think about it during the break? I said, no. I want to come up with it on my own. Man, well, that just makes my weekend. We can call it a day. Let's just go on home. No, I'm kidding. Welcome back. It's the Steve Marston Show. And we are here on AM 630, The Word in San Antonio, and Faith Talk 99.5 in Little Rock. It's a fun Friday. I just wanted to catch you up on some other things that are going on around the interwebs here. This one doesn't have any sound to it, but it is a video I wanted to show you. This is cool. You know, every groom has a cake. That's the tradition, right? You know, you have the great big wedding cake that and mainly, I mean, it's for the couple, but I mean, the bride picks it out, the bride designs it, and the whole thing. But the guys have one little cake for themselves. This guy had his groom cake, and this was the wedding groom cake reveal video that they did. And let's see if we can roll that and check this out. This is really pretty amazing when you look at the artwork behind this. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. Is it 5? These are the different family Bibles in replica of his family. And one of the Bibles on top is open, and it looks so real because there are notes in there. This is a cake. You believe producer Tommy's eyes are just big and wide open. This is someone made this cake, and when you look at the tattered pages with little writings inside of beside the text, it's unreal. But this is a wedding cake, unless this is AI and I'm just being fooled. But I'm going to say I'm not. I'm going to say this is real. So, I mean, just unbelievable. Yeah, this is worth finding the video if you're not watching on video, just to check it out, because it is it's a major work of art. Okay, let's see what else. Oh, you know, it's Pride Month, and you see a lot of it. Although it's calmed down, I think, a lot over the last couple of years, but still a lot of businesses are doing Pride stuff and still having all kinds of parades and things. And this guy, his name is Bryce Crawford. He was the one that kind of gained attention with Kenneth Copeland. He did an interview with him not too long ago. Well, Bryce is a young guy, and he does a lot of street evangelizing, and he brings cameras with him. And he said as soon as he walked up on this man who he saw at last year's Pride Parade, this is the exchange that happened. Let's watch this.
Your propaganda is white trash.
Wait, but what is it? I'm just curious. I'm trying to understand.
Now you tell me what your white trash is, white boy.
Well, no, I mean, you called me white trash propaganda, so I'm just wondering, what is the trash that I'm promoting that you're saying I do?
Your hatefulness towards other people, that's all.
Wait, how do I hate them? How do I promote hatred?
Well, Bryce, let me tell you.
Look, wait, hold on, look, bro, look, I love you. If we disagree...
I don't need your love, sorry.
Well, no, that's okay. I'm just saying if we disagree, that doesn't mean you have to say that I'm a white trash, hateful person.
Oh, come on. Don't be ridiculous.
We don't have to call me that.
I know you are, because I've seen your white trash propaganda on YouTube.
Bro, I met you here last year, and I was nothing but kind to you. So how is that I'm promoting white trash propaganda and I'm a hateful person? How is that?
Because you promote hatred towards queer people.
No, I don't.
Yeah, you do.
Well, look, if I believe that God is my superior authority, and I believe according to the Bible that God is my supreme authority and that homosexuality is not in God's original design for mankind, then that's not saying I'm hating a person.
Yeah, that's definitely hatred right there.
You said what?
That's definitely hatred right there.
How is that hatred?
Saying that X, Y, and Z is wrong. Like, come on.
Well, no,
everything is right.
Everything is right?
Yep.
So you know what verse comes after the verse about homosexuality in Leviticus? Yep. Bestiality. So do you think that's right?
Yep.
You think bestiality is okay?
Yep.
Having sex with an animal is okay?
Yep. 100%.
Brother, I love you, but you got to repent. Seriously, that's a big deal.
I don't need to repent. I already did that long time ago.
Yep, that's some of the things you will see in pride parades. Now, is every pride parade going to have some knucklehead like that? I don't know, but it's out there, and that's the way a lot of people that participate in that lifestyle look at us, even though we're just doing exactly what Bryce said and what Bryce kind of articulated really pretty well there. So kudos for him doing that and actually taking the time and loving people enough to go and talk to them on their terms, on their kind of turf. So good for him on that. Let's see. We got time for this too. This is a video I think that you're going to really enjoy as well. This is from Give Me an Answer. It's Stuart Connectley. Watch this.
John chapter 9. Who is the reason why this man is born blind? Was it his parents? Was it something he did? So Hindus would say, well, it's something he did. He did something wrong in the past where the karmic effect had its draw on him in such a way where now he's blind or he's paralyzed, for example. But in John chapter 9 there, Jesus says it's nothing that he did or his parents or anybody else, but it's that it was shown to be for God's glory to be pierced through his life to show other people. Secondly, it's a messed up world, right going back to the Garden of Eden with Adam and Eve. They sinned, they cracked the door wide open, so now all of a sudden, things get messed up cosmically. I mean, talk about natural disasters. You see them all the time now. Sociologically, divorce, relational breakdown, and psychologically, emotional, psychological issues. All down through it. And as pastors, as apologists, we have to deal with this kind of thing all of the time. Thirdly, God could have reasons that we can never understand. This is more of a philosophical response. I mean, if we're granting God omniscience, and we are granting ourselves very limited knowledge. Even Albert Einstein himself said, I know less than 1% of what there is to know in this world. All right, if we have that amount of limited knowledge, we need to be able to understand, hey, God could have some reasons for this suffering that we have no idea why he has those reasons for. If I'm a pantheist and I just believe the tree over here is God, I don't really know why I'm suffering and why God could potentially be loving me if I am suffering. But if I believe in Jesus Christ, who actually died for me 2,000 years ago, and now still suffers with me today as a suffering servant, well, at the very least, we know that God must love us because he allowed his only son to die on the cross for us to suffer in that kind of way. And what greater love than this? That one lay down their life for a friend, even for an
On May 13th, 2026, Salem Communications Holding Corporation, licensee of KDIS-FM 99.5 MHz, Little Rock, Arkansas, filed an application with the Federal Communications Commission for transfer of control from Salem Media Group, Inc. to the Christian Community Foundation, Inc., DBA Waterstone. Members of the public wishing to view this application or obtain information about how to file comments and petitions on the application can visit www.publicfiles.fcc.gov and search in KDIS's public file.
Advantage Gold, America's #1 precious metals company, is sounding the alarm that a storm is coming and that now is the time to diversify your portfolio before it's too late. That's why we're offering an emergency gold and silver protection kit valued at $49, absolutely free for anyone who calls today at 800-900-8000. This kit includes critical information for investors with a retirement account seeking to own physical gold and silver, but want to do it tax and penalty free. Advantage Gold has helped investors protect and secure their wealth with physical gold and silver since 2014. Call Advantage Gold now at 800-900-8000 and we'll rush your emergency gold and silver kit plus a free copy of Ken Rogoff's book, Our Dollar, Your Problem. See how gold and silver can help you protect and secure your wealth with the help of Advantage Gold. Results vary. Consult your tax advisor before investing. Call 800-900-8000. That's 800-900-8000.
On Salem News Channel, principled voices are shaping today's conversation. Scott Jennings brings clarity to the toughest debates. Josh Hammer's blistering commentary puts politics and culture on trial. And Alex Marlowe's insight connects us to what matters most. Watch anytime on Samsung TV Plus, Pluto TV, or find us on your screen at snc.tv. 3 new shows, 1 powerful lineup. Salem News Channel, across America.
It's long, over 1,000 chapters, over 30,000 verses. No wonder so many of us have never read it cover to cover. Want to do it? Want to read the entire Bible? Start today at BibleStudyTools.com. BibleStudyTools.com includes Bible in a Year, an interactive plan for reading, learning, and understanding the Bible. Deepen your faith and impact your walk with God, one day at a time. Bible in a Year, just one of the new interactive Bible study tools at BibleStudyTools.com.
Need a good shot of your favorite pastor? Well, you can get him anywhere and everywhere at oneplace.com and the One Place app. If you missed the daily dose of encouragement you need, find it there. If you want to hear that great sermon one more time, it's all there. We don't encourage you to leave this station, not ever. But when you want to repeat, you know where to go. Oneplace.com and the One Place app. No matter what happens, we're always on. You can watch the video stream of the show right now on X. Just search for Marston Show. Now, here's Steve.
Okay, thank you so much. It's your afternoon source of encouragement. We are the Steve Marston Show. And before we wrap up today, we're going to go and continue with our Faith Between Our Ears verse. On Monday, we started trying to learn as a little radio podcast family the verse Psalm 100, verse 3. To be able to know it and to be able to have it between our ears as a alternative to what the world will throw at us. Because the world will tell us all kinds of things. Those voices in our head, they will lie to us for sure. So we have to know what God's word says and to have it right between our ears. And the best way to do that is to actually spend some time learning it and memorizing it. And again, these verses are not that hard. They're not that long. And it's not so much knowing every word in order, but knowing what it says and the meaning behind it. So Psalm 100, verse 3 says, "Know that the Lord, he is God. It is he who has made us and not we ourselves. We are his people and the sheep of his pasture." Really simple, but powerful enough to say, hey, he's in control and we're not, even when it seems like life is just totally going here, there, and everywhere where we can't even know which way is up. This verse will help ground us and help us understand that it's not about what it seems like, but what the word says. So I hope you have learned Psalm 100, verse 3. Okay, we close up shop every day with the best video on the internet. This is where we just search high and low, up and down, all around, from start to finish of the internet. I mean, we spend a lot of time on this and a lot of effort, a lot of sweat, trying to find something that will put a smile on your face, kind of pump you up a little bit as we part company, especially for the weekend. Okay, here now is today's best video on the internet. And this one is from a podcast that Tim Tebow, the famous football player turned broadcaster, was on not too long ago. Watch this. This is really good.
Words of affirmation is not my love language. It's actually probably one of the lowest, if not the lowest. I've just heard a lot of words, good or bad, said about me over a long period of time. And so I don't take in a lot of what people say to me, whether it's right or wrong. When I evaluate, I actually watch how they treat people that can do nothing for them. That's on our teams, it's in friends, it's in meeting y'all. It's gonna weigh so much more is if you treat someone kindly that can do nothing for you, especially when you're mad, irritated, or something doesn't go your way. But how do you view people, or how do you treat people when no one's there, or when they can do nothing for you?
When they can do nothing for you. Wow. Good stuff from Tim Tebow. The young man just continues to impress, and he's so right. All right, we're finished for the week. Another great job out of producer Tommy. Thanks to Adam Holtz for joining us. And thanks to everybody who gave during the 15-minute challenge in San Antonio. Love you guys. All right, back on Monday at 3 o'clock. Hope you'll make your plans to be there as well. Be in church on Sunday. And we'll talk to you soon. Adios.
Whether retirement's just around the corner or already here, it's common to be overwhelmed. That's where Total Wealth with David Lucas can help.